So it's October, and I have a couple of ghost stories to tell you. The first one starts when I was 11 or 12 years old. My grandmother gave us a stack of board games that she had at her house. And when we brought them home, started looking through them, and one of them was a Ouija board. Like the old Hasbro, plastic planchette Ouija board. My freaking Irish Catholic grandmother had a Ouija board. Being 11 or 12, I decide, have a sleepover. We should bring the Ouija board out for the sleepover. So we brought the Ouija board into my bathroom, turned the lights off, put the little nightlight on, and me and my friends started playing with it. And we started just asking it different questions. I, of course, was a little more adventurous, and at some point I asked, whatever the spirit is, how did you die? And we're, putting our fingers on the planchette, and it's moving around, and everybody's like, are you moving it? No, I'm not moving it. Are you moving it? And we spell out the word neck. So then we started asking, well, what is your name? And the planchette starts moving around again across the board. Spells out M-A, Ma. Okay. So we go, no, what is your name? Try to do it again. All it will do over and over again is M-A, Ma, 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 over and over again. It gets to the point where we're just, this is weird. We need to stop. This is just strange. So we put the Ouija board back in the closet. A couple years later or so, I pulled it out again. We tried talking to it. All we got again was Ma, Ma, over and over again. Ma, Ma. Strange. So fast forward about 15 years or so. I think I'm in my early 30s. I start talking to my mom about this Ouija board. I'm like, why did my grandmother have this Ouija board? And my mom just very matter-of-factly said, oh, she bought that to talk to her sister who had died. And I'm like, excuse me? And so I knew a little bit about my great aunt. I knew she was an actor in early Hollywood. I knew she was a stunt actor in particular. She was actually one of the stunt people in the original King Kong. She was frickin' Fay Wray's stand-in for King Kong. And I knew that she had died young, but I didn't really know why. Nobody really talked to me about it. And so when my mother tells me this, I'm like, really? And I tell her, that the board was saying M-A over and over again. Well, she said, yeah, her name was Marcella Arnold. Oh. So I went online, did a bunch of research, because my mom didn't remember exactly how she passed. She knew she passed doing a stunt, but she didn't remember how. So there were tons of news articles about this. This was a big deal when it happened. It happened in the mid-30s, 1930s. And so I'm reading all these things, and there's court documents, and this was a case that actually helped define rights for stunt actors in Hollywood, because it was seen as this horrible thing that this young woman had died doing a stunt. So I guess the film production, they had gone to, it was like a gangster film or something. They had gone to a Pasadena area park near the Rose Bowl, and there was a long stretch with a curve at the end. And so they got this heavier vehicle that they were doing the stunt with. It was my great aunt, another woman, and then a guy. The guy was driving. And they did several takes with this one vehicle. And then the director decides to do one more take, but he wants to switch the vehicle. He wants to switch it to a roadster. So they did the stunt again. The roadster was much lighter than the other vehicle, and it tipped over. It spun out and tipped over. And my great aunt was killed instantly. She broke her neck. I can't explain this one. It baffles my mind, and that was probably my first entry into a legitimate ghost story. So, was my great aunt trying to talk to me? I've had a few instances since then where I have gone to seances, and at some point in the seance, something happens, and freaking Marcella's trying to talk to me. And there was this one, it was kind of a performance seance. One of the things was they passed around books and you had to open a book to a certain page, talk about what you read on the page, so many lines down. But I turned the book on its side, and the author's name is Arnold. Of all the books I could have pulled, I pulled the one with the author's name, Arnold. So I went, thank you, Marcella. So is my great aunt haunting me? Maybe. And that's okay, because she was a really cool gal.